And I believe that you knew of Sean Bowles' victims. That's what I believe, Sean Feucht. That's what I believe. I think we should not listen to these guys that aren't willing to speak out about these predators, especially when they've shared stages, shared offices, shared meals with these predators. Sean Feucht calling for people to have discernment about Rock Nation and Jay-Z, while at the same time hanging out with Bickle and hanging out with Sean Bowles. Where's your discernment, bro? All right, guys, I'm going in. I've been holding this for a while. Sean Feucht. I got to talk about Sean Feucht today. I will tell you guys a year ago, we brought up Sean Feucht a year ago on our podcast, and because this man, just to be clear here, where this man comes from, okay? He has been doing the Burn 24/7 is where he started, Burn 24/7. So he starts in the seeds of the prayer movement years ago, and I'm not even saying that's bad at all. Actually, I met Sean years ago, which he probably wouldn't remember me, at like a ultra charismatic conference called Shatter. It was in Dallas, and I mean, it was crazy charismatic. You know, we had all the, what do you call them, the shofars and the flags were flying everywhere. It's like 2007, and met him for a few minutes, and anyway, never talked to him after that. But I got involved in the Burn 24/7 there in my backyard in Tyler, Texas for a little while. And I appreciated that movement. I really appreciated, what it brought. But over the years, at this point, what I've watched with Sean, he's connected with Mike Bickle quite a bit. And when I saw, now everybody's got their opinions on what Sean does with politics and all that. I'm not even going to go into all that. But here's what I'm going to say is, this man found his momentum. He found his home, in a sense, in the prayer movement. I get he wasn't at IHOP and all that, but it was the same seeds and it was the same connection. And I can show you that here in a second. But Sean, when Bickle was outed.
This episode is brought to you by Wake Up and Win Insurance. We help clients all over the nation with their term life, whole life, or universal life insurance, and we're definitely happy to help you with a consultation.
Check the description below for more info.
For abuse last year for SA, even involving a minor, what was Sean's first reaction? What was his first reaction when those details began to surface? Let's take a look. Let's take a quick look. Here we go. February 8th. Tammy Woods had just come out with her story. What is Sean Feucht's first reaction? The sins of Mike Bickle do not invalidate the prayer movement any more than the sins of King David invalidate the worship movement. We've seen time and time again how a thriving ministry God is using has no correlation to the true state of our souls. Quote, search us, O God. All right. So, where is here is my issue with this statement. You can read. I mean, the dude can't read the room. Like, you look at this comment section. So he goes in a subtweet here to himself. I have a 13-year-old daughter. It's absolutely horrific and demonic. Every survivor needs to be heard and receive healing, yet it's sobering that God would allow a ministry of that size scope to touch millions in the midst of this sin. This is the scary part God is exposing. Ryan Kondo, worship leader at IHOP for many years. That's it. There are victims, right? Just going to talk about Mike and how valid the prayer movement is. Like, his first response is to be like, hey, the prayer movement's not bad. The prayer movement's not bad. Now, look, I can appreciate anybody talking about, I can appreciate saying, okay, corporate prayer is not bad just because Mike Bickle was evil. But here's my deal with Sean is that this guy will spend his efforts and focus calling out politicians and calling out political movements and calling out the left all the time. But when it comes to his own backyard, and I mean, he'll be fast with it. He'll be quick with these guys that are politicians. But when it comes to his own backyard, or it comes to ministers in the pulpits that have horrific sin and literally double lives, Sean is like crickets until forced to speak up. And his first thing is, well, whatever Mike did doesn't invalidate all the cool things that he started, which is one of the big things that got me started, for Sean, is the prayer movement. So it's not invalid. Just want to let y'all know that. Yeah, it's bad, but Mike was bad, but the prayer movement's not invalid. Like, that was about all that we got out of Sean regarding Bickle. Now, look with me at some of these things. What about this? You go, well, I mean, how connected is he really, right? How connected is Sean really to Mike Bickle? And, what's the deal? Well, let's just look at this video from 4 years ago. Okay, so let's take a look at how connected Sean is to Mike Bickle.
So we are here in Kansas City with my hero, my friend, the legend, Mike Bickle.
My hero, my friend, the legend, Mike Bickle. My hero, my friend. I went ahead and commented on this. My hero, my friend. This video needs to be deleted, bro. Like, why is this video still on his deal? Like, I just imagine Sean Feucht, okay, the guy who likes to call out, leftist politicians. If he had a video with a random leftist politician years ago, he would have deleted it by now. But the problem is that I get that this guy, is forced to finally say something about Mike in February after like 2.5, 3 months. But he's not going to take down his videos of him. He's like the dude still carries. I think that Sean wouldn't care if Mike got right back into ministry because, Mike's anointed teaching and all the movement that he started. But let's keep going.
Here at the House of Prayer, and I am so excited for tonight. I'm so honored to be here. It's a full circle moment for me.
Yes, I know. It's a full circle moment for you in 2020 because this is your hero. This is a guy that you built much of your ministry and activity on. This is like, this guy's movement is what you basically launched off of, in a sense. Let's keep going. Let's keep looking. Okay, so this is 2020. Let's see here. Let's see. I know there's more. Okay, here we go. Look at this. This is December 2nd, 2023. So this is right after. This is a month into all of the breaking news of Mike Bickle. So the first thing he actually says is there are biblical ways to navigate church controversy and hidden sin discovered in church leadership. Those do not include running to a leftist journalist with low integrity, bad character, and who hate the spirit-filled church. We must do better than this. All right. Who's he talking about? He's talking about Julie Royce. So why is he calling her leftist? He's calling her leftist because she exposes ministers who are in sexual immorality and sexual abuse. Like, what on freaking earth, dude? And because she wrote an article about you having some criminal record for during your hunting trip, you lied to the police or something. Like, in my mind, that is not a reason for you to get all defensive. Bro, you shouldn't have been lying to the cops or whatever you were doing there on your hunting trip. Like, just admit it and walk. But instead, you think that Julie's just out to attack you. It's so strange to me. Like, Sean, if Julie Royce did not do the job she was doing, then there would be multiple PEDO pastors still running youth groups and running churches. Because you, who think that you're so important to call out Rock Nation, what am I talking about? Let's go. Let's take a look at the Rock Nation call out from Sean Feucht. Where's that at? I know it's on here somewhere. Okay, look. Look at Sean. This was back in, I think this was in December of 2024. I warned a specific artist on Rock Nation, Jay-Z's label, 2 years ago that God was going to expose the darkness and they should leave the label. They were offended, refused to listen, and even blasted me about it. We need discernment more than ever. Sean, and this is Susan Tuma, actually calling him out here, but it's like, bro, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Like, you're gonna tell me that that you warned somebody at Rock Nation, okay? But what about Mike Bickle? What about the prayer movement? What about all of these pastors and leaders that are literally abusing people in their congregations, abusing girls, abusing boys? Oh, not to mention, Sean, okay, I got to go here now. Not to mention Sean Bowles. Now, Feucht, you were on Sean Bowles' board. You were on Sean Bowles' board. Now, did you know that Bethel just released a statement to their students and the alumni saying that Sean Bowles, first of all, halfway apologizing for not calling out Sean Bowles publicly for data mining prophecies, as well as what they called, and I'm guessing more's going to come out about this, what they called sexual harassment in the workplace involving Sean Bowles in some way. And you were on Sean Bowles' board, and I guess was it 2023, you just decided to silently step away from the board? Bro, why are you calling out Rock Nation when you're not calling out in the body of Christ Sean Bowles, your good friend, your good buddy, the guy who you were on his board? Why are you not calling him out? Why are you not warning the body of Christ? Because I have a feeling, I suspect that if there's one sexual harassment victim, there's probably multiple, because that's how that works, Feucht. That's how it works. And so spending all this time focusing on people, here's my question to Sean Feucht. Here's my question. Are you in the body of Christ or are you not? Are you in the body of Christ or are you not? Because spending your time pointing fingers at the world, but I'm looking at you with a concern going, this man is not willing to call out wolves that are preying on the very movements that he came from. This man is not willing. And this warning, of course, I'm saying this to Sean, but this guy is so, in my opinion, has no ability to be teachable. I don't think, and here's how I know that. A young lady recently came on YouTube and she actually shared her story of what she would call spiritual abuse, but also just being like completely ignored by Sean. And she was a top leader at the Burn. She was a top leader at the Burn, and she talks about how the Burn UK separated from Sean Feucht and separated, and that she brought concerns as she was seeing problems unfold within the prayer movement. She brought concerns at saying, hey, she said Cindy Jacobs is calling out the prayer movement, saying that we need to be repenting for some certain things. We probably need to take that seriously. And Sean Feucht would not give her an audience, even though she worked directly with somebody right under Sean Feucht, and she was like a big person within the Burn movement overall. And Sean never gave her the time of day and sent a message, said, well, you can go to this guy, and had a planned meeting, but then ended up not meeting with her, and they just fired her. This girl's name, let's see if I can go to the video. Here she is right here. It's, let's see, I think her name is Christy. Appreciate her speaking out. I'll link this video here.
My name is Christy Gafford. I am just coming to you today just to share my story regarding spiritual abuse and relation to Sean Feucht, Burn 24/7. And I just want to tell my story. I feel that it's necessary.
So I'm going to link to this. I'm going to link to this video for you guys to go watch, because I think it's important. It's important to see that there is stuff out there from within the organization itself about Sean. My issue is that I don't think he's going to listen to this video and respond positively and be like, wow, you're right. I need to start holding the body of Christ accountable to SA. I need to start calling out those very wolves in sheep's clothing. No, I don't think that he's going to do that, but here's what I'm doing this video for. I'm doing this to warn believers that are following Sean. Okay, I'm warning believers that are following Sean. Another issue I'm running into with Sean, again, I've watched this for like a year, but this guy just today, tried to call out Julie Royce for receiving money from the government during Biden's administration. And when I look at the call out that he did, it says that she received $0 from the U.S. government, but Christianity Today received like 1.8 million or whatever. I have no qualms with Christianity. I don't even read their stuff, so I don't even know, like, did they receive money from the government? Like, okay. I actually don't really care that much. But Sean's issue is that I guess Christianity Today has talked about him before. And so they're like, these people attack me, so I'm vindicated because they received money from the Biden administration. I'm like, okay, fine. But then he wants to lump Julie Royce into it somehow. Like, he wants to lump Julie Royce into this. Here it is right here.
But what they discovered today is that there were so many leftist, progressive, Christian media outlets and publications on the Biden payroll. And it's just and no coincidence that these were the exact same media outlets that attacked me over the last 5 years, relentlessly slandering me, slandering my family, attacking us because of what we were doing during COVID. Christianity Today, one of the big ones, right? They were being paid, I think, $2 million last year. You can look it up on Google, from the Biden administration. Southern Baptist, you look at them. You look at all of these outlets, these leftist, progressive media outlets were all getting money from the Biden administration. No wonder that we're attacking people like me, that were standing up. No wonder they were attacking people like us that were advocating for sanity and righteousness back in the White House. These were pro-Biden, pro-Kamala organizations. They hated Trump, and there's a reason why, because they were getting dough from Biden. They were getting juice. They were getting money. They had made a deal with the devil. Let's just call it what it is, right? It was like the spirit of Judas, except they got a lot more than 30 pieces of silver, right? They got millions and millions and millions of our tax dollars to attack us. Like, this is insane. And God, this is just the beginning. This is like day one of the exposing of the corruption of the progressive, leftist, Christian media propagandists, right? The people that hate me, that hate conservatives. I'll be in there in a minute. Close my door, please. My son keeps coming in. It's insane. I mean, and what's wild about it is it's like and they try so hard. Like, all of these people, including people like Julie Royce,
including people like Julie Royce. Why are you including people like Julie Royce?
All together with them, and Russell Moore and
Julie Royce. Why are you throwing Julie Royce in that group? Why are you saying that? Because he actually says in another post, Julie Royce, like, he puts her on as receiving money. Julie goes on there and says, I did not receive any money from the U.S. government. Nothing. I received nothing. And whatever is there that was uncovered shows zero. So I actually asked him, I'm like, why would you throw her name in that? She's the only one that came on and flatly denied it. So can you clarify? But he doesn't. He doesn't clarify. I think that it's so strange to me that this guy would do that without any receipts, without any clarification. And Julie's flatly denied it right there online. Said, no, I didn't do that. I didn't receive anything. And so what is his qualm with Julie Royce? Is it that Julie Royce's stories uncovered Robert Morris and his sexual predation over many, many years? Is it that it covered your hero, Mike Bickle? Is it that her work has uncovered multiple sexual predators that are traveling pastors? Is that the problem? Like, or is it that she just said, hey, you have a criminal record while you were hunting and you're just going to get mad about that? Like, I mean, dude, like, what is your deal? What is your deal? Why are you calling her leftist? I think she's actually conservative politically. Did you realize that? She's actually conservative politically. I know, and I won't say, but there's someone that is friends with you that talked to Julie and afterward talked to me and said, I realized that Julie's not near as liberal as I thought she was. I learned something new every day. This pastor laughed to me and I was like, yeah, that is the influence of people like Sean Feucht in your life, making you think that anybody who attacks him is just a leftist, progressive, woke mob. They're just out to give a sex change to my child. Trust me, bro. I agree with lots of your political stances. They're not yours. They're just more conservative stances. But what I disagree with is that you are not a leader in the body of Christ. You are not someone that should be leading or be looked up to in the body of Christ. You do not have the spiritual backbone to actually hold any of your heroes accountable. Like, as we look across the internet, dude, you are all over the internet with Mike Bickle. You are all over the internet with Mike Bickle. Like, the sins of Mike Bickle do not invalidate the prayer movement. Like, look at just like here's this man just, oh, look, here we are. 5 million are praying for Israel together. Yeah. It's just like, buddy. You know, I don't have the picture, but there's like one of them that's literally in the Sean Feucht's man cave with Mike Bickle, with multiple others. Actually, I don't remember all of them, but it's like Mike Bickle, I think Chris Valentin's there, all a bunch of dudes hanging out in Sean Feucht's man cave. My qualm at this point with Sean Feucht is that he spends all this time, even today, he's like, oh, Doge. I'm like, dude, did you know that a 68-page report came out about your hero, Mike Bickle? Did you know that just came out yesterday or 2 days ago about the sexual predation of Mike Bickle? Did you know that this happened? Are you paying attention? No, you're just paying attention to Doge. Do you have anything to say about that? Anything at all? I'm actually concerned. And then when I look at Kirsty Gafford's video, I'm concerned that, you know, she said that she had gone to people and they said, oh yeah, we've gone to Sean already. And this is while she's still internal in the organization working for Sean. They say, we've gone to Sean already. We try to talk to him. He doesn't listen. She's like, oh, that's concerning. Yeah, it is concerning. It is concerning. So this is my shot across the bow. And some people be like, dude, we said that for years. We said that years ago. Whatever. This is our channel. My wife's not feeling well again today. And I'm just out and about. So I'm just going to make this video. But here's what I'm going to say. This is our shot across the bow to say, Sean Feucht, you need to actually take a moment, look at the body of Christ, look at the leadership in the body of Christ, and take some accountability to call out the sexual predation that's going on across the body of Christ, and not to soft pedal a rebuke toward Mike Bickle from like in December or in February of 2024, but to couch it with his ministry super valid is so weak in my opinion. And what it does to me is it makes me go, are these guys, like, what is going on behind the scenes to soft pedal that rebuke? And then secondly, what's even more concerning to me is that you were on the board of Sean Bowles, and I believe that you knew of Sean Bowles' victims. That's what I believe, Sean Feucht. That's what I believe. And the way that you handle victims in your tweets about them, the way that you handle these situations, and by silently stepping away from Sean Bowles' ministry, from his board, shows me that you don't have the gall to actually speak up where it's necessary to publicly call out the predators that are in the pulpits. There are pulpit predators, and they're mostly, so many of them are after our daughters, and some are after our sons. You would know about that, Sean. You would know about that, Sean Feucht. You would know about that. Some of these predators are after our sons. And until we can find men of God that are actually willing to speak up, I think we should not listen to these guys that aren't willing to speak out about these predators. I think so. And I'm not saying, guys, this is not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that every single pastor has to talk about every single pastor that falls. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if you are involved with, if you are on the board of or involved with any of these people, or have been a hero of yours, you have to speak out. Think of it like this. If you spent time as a family with somebody and you brought them in among your children, and then a few years later you find out that they're a total wolf, they're totally evil, would it not be necessary of you to go to your children and tell them, avoid this person? I know we brought them around all the time when we were hanging out as kids and all this stuff, but now I just want you to know they're bad news, stay away from them. Well, that's what it's like with the body of Christ and these leaders. Many of you, and like, heck, I promoted Bickle in the past, but I straightforward gave a clear declaration over this last year: mark and avoid. But you guys cannot give a clear declaration on these people and these men that you promoted across the body of Christ. If you can't do it, Chris Valentin, if you can't do it, Sean Feucht, if you can't do it across the board, guys, leaders, if you can't just say, hey, mark and avoid these men, then you're preaching a half gospel in my perspective. There's no apostolic leadership on your life. There's no prophetic leadership. There's no, frankly, just smart wisdom from God on your life to lead in front of the body of Christ. That's all I got for you guys today. I'm going to end it right there. Mark and avoid these men and pay close attention to the ones that are unwilling to speak out about it, especially when they've shared stages, shared offices, shared meals with these predators. Sean Feucht calling for people to have discernment about Rock Nation and Jay-Z, while at the same time hanging out with Bickle and hanging out with Sean Bowles. Where's your discernment, bro? Wake up, body of Christ. Wake up.